Okay, back to our Fusion. I'm gonna hit Control Spacebar and do a loader here, and bring in our 3D render. Okay, the one we just rendered out from Blender here. Okay, so when we bring it in here, I'm gonna press one here. We get this here, and this is not the RGB that we want. Okay, so we're gonna have to go into Format under Channels here, and the default here for some reason is Ambient Occlusion RGB. We want to change that to, for now, Combine. So R, so combine R, combine G, combine RGB. Okay, it's a little bit not in order. And then alpha is combined alpha. Okay, so we should get the alpha of this. Okay, and it comes in a little dark, and as we discussed in class, I'm going to select the R3D render, hit Control Spacebar, and type in color transform, I believe. Color space transform. Color space transform, add. Okay, and this right here, our input is linear. Okay, so linear, and then skip one. Our output gamma is sRGB. So in linear, out sRGB. Okay, right there. And then when we get that, we see that the color is in the right color space. Okay, so now I'm going to select this color transform node, Control Spacebar, and type in a merge 2D this time, because we're putting 2D elements on, not 3 anymore. Okay, and join that to here, and let's see what that looks like. Oops, I think I have to reverse this. I'll figure out what the hotkey to reverse is later. Let's see. There's a hotkey where if you press it, it switches. So we have this aspect ratio issue again. So I'm going to have to go inside my Visual 3D here, and where is the aspect ratio? I believe under custom here, and type in 1.2. Probably better to set it at 1.0 from the original source from the beginning. But we see that when we set it to 1.2, everything's back to normal size. Now we're missing the shadow, so we're gonna have to add that in. So what I'm just gonna do now is just select these right here, 3, and select this and Control C, Control V here. Okay, and so connect that there. But this time, this layer right here, how it's the combined layer, I'm going to change this to the shadow catcher layer. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down all the way down to shadow catcher R, shadow catcher G, shadow catcher G, and shadow catcher B. Shadow catcher B. Okay, and for the alpha, there's no alpha, so I'm going to click on none here. None. Okay, and I'm going to select this and press 1 here, and we get this. Okay, so normally on a merge, it's an over function, but whenever you see like a black and white channel, then that's usually a multiply, right? So the shadow catcher uses multiply, and the ambient occlusion uses multiply. Okay, we'll talk more about the ambient occlusion passes and all the other passes in another video. So I'm going to select this merge here and choose multiply. Okay, and so we should have our shadows aligned there. Okay, and you can see a little bit of color bleeding also here. Okay, so let's click on that, and we can view this and see it run. So, you know, there's a lot of other things missing. Like we have to do edge treatments here, motion blur, do our levels correction. You know, for our levels, like the levels on here is a little bit darker compared to our background, so it doesn't look like it really matches. So we'll, in a a separate video. In the next video, we'll talk about our compositing checklist of the things we have to set up. Also, you see here the shadow catcher plane in Blender. I think I overset it, so there's shadows bleeding onto this area here when there's no geometry there. Okay, so that's it for this one. Okay. After loading into RAM, here it is. I could have just right click and cached it out into this node right here and cached it this and then play it. It would have been smoother too. But either way, that's it.